just destroyed those T-72s. Hello guys, and welcome to a new Regiments video today by me, Vulcan. In this one we're moving on to Stage 7 and Phase 10 of my Allied Surge Warpath. This warpath has been going fantastically so far, and previously we had a really good raid that has left us with 293 operational authority. So we're going to go ahead and spend that, and then we're going to proceed to an escort mission because we haven't challenged ourselves with an escort yet in this warpath. So I think that will be fun to give a go. Let's have a look, shall we, at a new task force, as I think it's about time that we get ourselves a new one. And whilst the American helicopters would be nice, I think getting Val would be the best one, with the T-55 HQ unit and plenty of T-72s joining us later on once we upgrade it. Also, we get another Akatea, which would be useful in future attacks. Having that artillery, and the rally also is really useful actually on defense. But we'll just get the base command group for now. I don't think I want to spend another 140 on upgrading it, as we do need to recover units like our M3 Bradleys here, which will be acting as important recon, as well as the Humvee TOWs. It may also be prudent to add some more deployment points, as we are starting to get quite a lot of units under our control. The Leopards could use a little boost there, and that will use up our operational authority. So we're going to have a little bit of points for recon if we're on the defense in an escort. But we'll see how we do in the first phase, and I might add more engineer support in the next phase. So for this one, we are going to have electronic warfare. I've been asked previously if I can click these. I can't. You have to take the one on the left. That's the one that we're given. I don't think we can select these unknown events. So alas, electronic warfare it is, with reduced HQ command radius and reduced SAM accuracy. Unfortunate. Let's go to battle. For Allied Surge Phase 10, Stage 7 at 1 PM. So I believe the way that those events work is it kind of rolls 4 of them, and then it's just randomly selecting you one of them until all 4 are gone, and then it gives you another 4. We've been pretty lucky with our events so far, to be honest. But this one, obviously a negative. But thankfully for us, this escort map is not too bad, in a sense that the reinforcements of the enemies come from both the same side. Escorts are very difficult when you're attacked from both sides. So I'm happy about this. And also, the other nice thing is it's kind of open, which is fantastic for our heavier tanks, which we've been building up quite a lot of throughout the campaign so far. I'm going to pop some M1s down. I might actually have them more to the left, although I want them to remain dug in as long as they can. So let's just put them somewhere like here so they can engage sort of both sides, because they could try and like push down this right side towards this objective, but they could also come across towards the center, so we want both of those covered. My Leopards, they're going to sit up on this ridge for sure, and that's a really nice position for them. We will need some recon, so we're going to put a observation post probably in this tree line. And then for these Abrams, we'll probably put one just here. That's fine. Okay. We do, of course, still have my Bradleys if needs be. What I'll do is actually we'll put the Bradleys back here so they can utilize their HGMs at long range. And we can do the same maybe on this side where we have like the Humvees up on the ridge. And then we can put maybe the T-55s a little bit further up. I kind of want to concentrate my armor. We'll put the T-55s there, and we'll put the T-72s up here, which are our new addition to the army. We can also be a bit concerned on the left here. Maybe I can get some good infantry lines going inside these trees. So let's go for the BMPs. We'll go for the KDA, because those KDA are actually elite now, which is kind of crazy, but they'll just move forwards and start digging in the tree line. Alongside those, I am going to have maybe the Pioneers. We don't have many of those left. I'm definitely going to have to replenish my crew at some point. Let's put the Looks back here, and we're going to put them on hold fire. They don't reveal themselves until the enemy is much closer. I'm also tempted to put a leader here to improve the effectiveness of this infantry. We'll put another one there. Yeah, that's okay. Right, on this right-hand side, maybe I could use a mortar. We could also probably use the T-55 leader. We'll pop the T-55 leader in there. And that's going to be a lot of our points spent. I'm a little bit worried here, because I seem to be spread a little thin. They might go for the cap onto these center sectors, which I'm not defending at all. And this is some nice operational authority that I might want to hold on to throughout the battle. But it's most likely they're going to go for the actual escort location. I can always shift my tanks if I need to. I think that's good. Let's get underway, shall we? So we'll do something like this, where we just move a little bit forwards in there and get those dug in ASAP. That will hopefully hold down that left side. I will do a little bit of area recon just to see what's happening, and then I'm going to just speed things up, as usually it takes a little while for the attacks to come in, because we're kind of waiting for the arrival of our forces here. They're going to zoom up this road all the way around. We're just going to make sure they don't get cut off on the way through. This road part here is a bit dodgy. In the trees it's fine, it's kind of safe, and then the left is more exposed again. Looks like they may kind of cut the corner here though, which would be alright. Because they don't like move exclusively on the road, as you can see. This HGM unit is kind of just cutting across. We got plenty of tactical support saved up. So as soon as we see the enemy, we should start bringing in our guided strike. In this case, for example, the Leopard should be able to open up here shortly. I'm hoping for shots onto the T-72s or whatever that is, but I guess we can take out the BTRs, that's fine. Completely destroyed their unit, so yeah, we'll take that. So I think what will probably happen is they're going to move to the center here, and we're going to have to take that back at like the end of the phase if we want to take that operational authority. Nice hit from the Leopard there, actually had range onto those T-55s. That's good. T-72 is still rolling in though. Infantry probably not going to be able to hold there very easily. We could bring in some cluster just to maybe help things out a little bit. As long as that infantry survives, which it might not for long. Artillery, DPICM, we'll chuck that down on the artillery. That seemed to have worked in the past. And the cluster, it's coming through. It's not going for the T-72s, it's going for the T-55s, but that's okay. There's more of them there. The cluster will be slightly more effective. The other thing that I'm lacking here on the front line is certainly supply. Maybe those Pioneers can go home, and we'll make sure to get some supply in. I think that's probably a good shout. Because this Leopard position is strong, but it would be stronger if I had supply behind it, so I could constantly fix them up. Attack starting to come in on the right hand side here. It's actually, now I think about it, an interesting escort map, because it's quite easy to defend, but it doesn't give you much operational authority if you don't branch out. Like it's kind of like a risk-reward thing, pushing for Delta, Lima, and Kilo, which is much more interesting than some of the other maps. Some of the maps are, like I said, just very hard when they're attacking from both sides, and those are equally as good in my opinion. Let's just let this fire because I don't want those guys getting too close. This may even be an attack I have to A10 strike because the looks aren't going to really hold up on their own. So I get pretty lucky with the shots. They are high veterancy, especially after the raid we had previously. Maybe we'll get the job done. Nice. Did all survive? They did. Okay, so my supply is first going to go to the leopards here for sure. And then we want to be looking at getting supply somewhere else. Maybe I could send a second supply over here for the time being. Damn, we just destroyed those T-72s. Really cool. That leopard's consistently taking more shots. Let's go ahead and use another artillery DPICM over here and shut down that artillery. We did lose a leopard. I don't think I want to retreat just yet, unless we lose a second one. Because that position is invaluable at the moment, it's doing a lot of damage. On the right side as well, the M1A1s and the T55s, we haven't really been paying attention, but they've absolutely annihilated these BMPs on the way down the hill. Just a nice position on top of this hill that looks out across the open. Great for the tanks. But they are pathing on this road, which is a bit scary. Just gonna shift the T-55s forwards. I might try and take back Kilo for the time being with the T-72s. Although it may not be worth doing that yet, actually, because it would distract the attack. Like, the attack, we want them to come towards the escort rather than focusing on these, because if they focus Kilo and Lima, we won't be able to take them back at the end. Whereas, like, if they just constantly start coming towards the escort that we're trying to do right now, then those will be a lot easier to capture at the end of the day. Seems to be acting as a nice distraction, at least, whilst the infantry rear guard take the fight. But those will be gone shortly, and those troops will be coming straight towards the centre, which means I'm probably going to want to move the T-55s over a little bit more. Because all of these troops, as soon as they capture Lima, are coming straight for Hotel. Time for another A10 guided strike, I think. May also want to join that with a cluster strike. Good they go. Okay, nice. Good hits. Okay, the supply's done its job there. Let's just fix up the looks. These guys can come over and sit with the infantry. T-72s can just fall back for now. I'm not going to get supply over there quickly enough. What I am going to do is move up my Humvees. And I'm also tempted to move across the Leopards. But they're currently dug in nicely, so I don't think that's a good idea to move them at the moment, because we won't be able to put them in these kind of like hold down positions if we break them. They're only basically able to do that if they're there from the start of a defense. But afterwards you just get this like hasty position bonus. You can't like do a prepared position again. Okay, this
Zone
unit
lost.
And start zooming over to the right side with that supply. Good. You can dig in the supply trucks to help hold that infantry position. What I am going to do, actually, is bring forwards my Bradleys, because my Leopards are currently blind. We'll have the supply come back over here for the time being, just to fix up those Leopards again. I am tempted to bring in the mortars instead of the T-72. There's also Mi-8 TVs apparently, so maybe it's Strelas. There could of course be aircraft later on, so having the Strela come in is not a bad idea. Let me just area recon Lima. Quite a decent amount there. Shame that my Humvee's not spotting those, because they have pretty decent optics. They've got 2,600 meter range vision with thermal night vision, so yeah, I guess it's just out of range. They're like 3,000 away. The M3 is actually 2,800, so significantly better. The Escort seems to be going well. That's the primary objective, and getting victory points is always going to be the primary objective until you've actually got yourself the total victory. But whilst I would like to put pressure on Kilo and Lima to grab this operational authority, it is not a priority whatsoever. I am going to start shifting over my M1. It looks like we're going to have to save the day a little bit here. Strela is on its way to help deal with the Mi-8 TVs, because these are vulnerable at the moment. These helicopters could do a lot of damage to the Escort if we allow. Pretty nasty artillery coming in onto those Abrams. Strela's seriously letting me down. Constantly missing. You're getting low on ammo. Alright, good kills. Alright, we can definitely shoot those down with the autocannon, so that's okay. Those helicopters will be taken out nicely. Good. Strela finished its work there, but took a lot of damage in the process. I'm going to get this supply to come across. My Delta's now being capped. We'll get the M1A1s to zoom back in that direction, because those T-55s may struggle to hold that alone.
Remaining.
And not much longer on the phase, which means that the escort mission is almost done. This is probably the last of the escort units moving through now.
Zone lost.
Unfortunately, that's targeting the T-72s. Hopefully we can focus the BRMs a little bit there. What I'm going to do is we're going to start attack moving towards Kilo to try and capture that. I really need to hit these BTRs. This T-55 unit is in trouble. Looks like Kilo will be ours. We can certainly capture back Delta. This HQ unit's unarmed, so it's easy kills. It's just the BRM we got to take out. Right, that will drain the supply very quickly there. But I do want to get these M1A1s fixed up. Right, we'll move the Humvee tow like so. The T-55s. And move over to Lima. We'll keep the Strela close but behind once it's got main ammo. Good stuff. And now that 64 supply can be used to fix up the M1A1s. And we'll capture back Delta.
Zone captured.
No point in sitting there getting mortared. Just run them down. Lovely. My fingers crossed. There won't be another attack in the next 2 minutes. I'm just going to move my T-55s here. We'll keep the M1s corner there. The supply can come in between those to fix them both up.
Zone captured.
Well, one more attack coming in on the left, it seems, but my defensive line should hold. You can always bring in A-10 guided strikes again if needs be. I might do here. Okay, I'm not going to bother. With the HQ here, plus the supply, this infantry position is really tough for them to break. I didn't even check you were escorting actually, but it
1 minute remaining.
looks like the Germans, their Leopard 1s, and actually that's going to be ETRL is the Dutch.
Zone captured.
Yeah, it's the Dutch forces. That's their designation for the, I assume it's a Gepard, right? Really solid hold. That's what we like to see. All sectors secured. Beautiful. That could not have gone better. We barely lost anything. We're going to get full operational authority. We got all of the victory points without losing a single unit in the escort. We've actually got pretty nice positions for the next battle. 8 dead, 27 wounded. That is probably the lowest losses that I've ever had in a master difficulty battle. That is incredible. Okay, let's move on to the next phase. 227 operational authority. We got to fix up some of these troops because they are a bit low on numbers. So let's restore like the pioneers. We don't have them on the field, but it's okay. We will restore the BMP. Yeah, that looks just a good idea. We can get the Panzergrens Heimat's back up to numbers. Maybe the Leopards too. It's kind of tempting to grab the Akitsaya. Katia, I guess it's technically pronounced. The other thing was engineer support. If I do engineer support, we're not going to upgrade. Does it matter? I don't think engineer support was like too important in that battle. So I am going to take the upgrade. And maybe just some points into signals intelligence would be a good idea. Or I could use the restore on the Leopards. But I think signal intelligence is actually going to be kind of useful for the battle. It'd be nice if it told us where they were as well, but I don't think it does that. Okay, that'll do. Spend the rest of that operational authority. We're good to go. Let's go to events. Airspace denied. Ooh, that's a tough one. Air tactical aids are not available. Helicopters are more expensive to deploy. Thankfully, we don't really use helicopters much, but not having my airstrikes is really rough. Let's go to battle. Shutting down their artillery is still going to be important. We'll still have the DPICM. Let's move on for phase 11, stage 7 at 5 p.m. That's bright, like it. Our units are already in position here, so they should have prepared positions, although I say that, unfortunately they're facing the wrong directions, but well, we can all make do. It's okay. Where am I? Let's see. On the right side there, we got the supply and the M1A1. I think I can bring back in the 55 leaders, maybe. Or I could just have the Akitsaya or Akatia in the middle, just to kind of counter battering. I think it's actually a better idea. Sure. Okay, let's confirm. And off we go. And most of my units are already in the positions that they should be. It's just a shame that this isn't facing the right direction, but yeah, we'll just have to manually adjust that straight away. These guys are okay-ish for now. It really depends like where we get attacked from. I always mention it, but I really, really love how the persistent like wrecks and damage from the previous battle remain on the map between phases. It's so cool. Like, if I come over here, we'll see all of those BMPs still. Or like some of them at least. Very cool. And all the craters and where the fight's been happening. Really hoping that this left side's got it locked down. It's just a bit risky for my looks here. Especially since like these units, maybe I should be shifting the Heimats over because they have an 800 meter range AT, whilst these guys, oh, they do too. I think it's just, maybe it's just the line of sight. Let's just shift them over a little bit. Be like, there is fine. Get them to dig all of their foxholes just a meter forwards from where they already were. They're going to hate me for that one. It's nice now as well, because we've upgraded that task force, we actually have the rally ability, which in the previous battle my leopards would have loved, because they were not that effective because they were getting pinned. But if you can negate some of the suppression with the rally ability, then they maintain their full combat capability, which when a heavy tank has high veterancy is really, really good. So these M1A1s, probably one of the best tanks in the game, with maximum veterancy, gonna absolutely chew things up that come towards them. Only real issue we have with the M1A1s is a lack of recon nearby, which I could bring over the Humvees to help out with that. These Humvees are nice and fast, they'll zip across the open and be able to provide some recon information. There is in fact a helicopter over here that's going to cause problems, so let's get my Strela over there. Alright, Acacia, target those units piling down the left side. I may need to pull these back, and it may get a little overwhelming for the M1A1s. Oh, they actually spotted my... The looks are dead. The command unit's dead. That's really not good news. We need to really deal with this ASAP, because they're going to cut off the exit. Alright, time for the M1A1s to fall back. Hopefully the Strela can hit that MI8. They're struggling at the moment. Well, these should be unloaded and they're not. My bad. Must have accidentally loaded them up. I'll just fall back a little bit here. Okay, probably worth me just retreating the Strelas for now. They're going to knock out those supply vehicles as well.
Zone lost.
I was hoping they wouldn't spot them. Moving them would have made them obvious, so a bit awkward. Okay, we're going to let the Humvees rip. Focus down the T-55 first, and then they can take out the rest. Should be fine. Alright, left side's in tappers. We will bring up some new supply there. I'll get the leader over here as well again. We can replace, get BMP-1s to head over there. And I really need to break down this right attack and then rebuy the M1A1s. Looks like the Leopards have carved out some units in the open, so that's good. Yeah, ultimately we need to just set up the defense here a little bit tighter. I probably could use some T-72s or something to just sit on that left side instead of the looks. Really just pushing the M1A1s to the limit here. Okay, DPICM for that artillery, thank you very much. Okay, that's the last unit taken care of for now. Okay, where's our reinforcing point? It's here. This right side is under threat for the time being, so I'm actually going to move over my T-55s. I can't quite remember where they were, so we'll just pop some artillery over there as well. I'm going to bring in the 255. Okay, let's have a look. How much do these cost? We'll be able to bring them in 20 seconds, so I'll just wait. I think it's like maybe 150. Maybe less. Just 100. Okay, I'll bring in those, and I'll bring in the T-55 leaders to the right as well. Get that extra effectiveness, like we had before. Really strong combination. Okay, they are hitting me with the counter battery. So they do have those units pressing hard into our right flank. I'm just going to area recon that in case there's more behind. I don't expect there to be. No. And the M1A1s are coming over very fast, so that's good. T-72s. I'm going to put them actually on this side, I think. I was going to put them there, but we'll put them to the left. Hold that position. BMP-1s will be in position soon. Ideally, what I should do here is get them to load up, and then do like an alt right-click drag. And that way, when they reach their position, they will automatically unload. Like so. And then they'll start digging in. That way they get to the position a lot quicker. We are going to lose Lima, maybe? But maybe the BRDM there held the line. I would be impressed. We can have the M1A1s kind of move towards Lima. Just going to hold fire with the Humvees. Don't want to get them killed. I didn't bring my Strela back in, did I? Helicopters could be a problem. At the moment, I don't think it's an issue, but it could be. Get this T-55 to each other on the right side there. And the Abrams are just cleaning out Lima. We'll head over to Delta now. This is like the perfect position for the M1A1s. Just running backwards and forwards across the open like this is just beautiful. I'm going to dump some artillery DPICM and we'll get my Akatia start putting some rounds down. The 1 to 3 platoons coming in. It's a company of BMP-1s. Taking a lot of damage, that's what we like to see. It looks like I'll have to move my infantry here to stop them from getting to the escorted units. We might lose a couple of them there. The leopards are going to have to come across, because we can't afford that. That's victory points we're never going to get back. Found the little gap. Tuck them back in. Right side is looking risky. What I can do is maybe shoot down the Mi-8s with the machine guns on the tanks.
Captured.
They're going to be really close, so it does do a decent amount of damage. Fortunately, my Humvees don't have. Just keep chasing down the helicopter with the 50 count. There it is. Okay. Good stuff. Alright, Humvees come back. Thank you very much. Okay. I guess I'm going to bring the M3 Bradleys back in over on the left-hand side. I was considering bringing in the Strelas again, but since we just shut down that unit, not in a rush, we'll bring in AA again. All points still secure, but I did sacrifice some victory points for operational authority, which is like it's okay to a certain extent, but generally you want to avoid doing that. I'm hoping that we've deleted that artillery. I may as well move these T-55 forwards with the Abrams. Much better defensive line if they're all together, and the leadership from the T-55 HQ unit can cover the Abrams as well.
5 minutes remaining.
I might even be able to push onto this artillery and take them out. Okay, a couple of units getting into Lima. Good.
Zone lost.
I'll move the T-55s up onto the ridge here. I'm going to just come across now to Lima, engage the enemy forces there. So another 4 to 6 platoons on the way. I'm going to assume they're on the left because we're quite far forwards on the right, but I will area recon this just in case. Because if they all popped out from this location, I don't think the T-55s will be able to hold if there's a bunch of T-72s. So it's more than likely that they're actually going to be over on this left side. As soon as those Akatsias are out of ammo, I think I'm just going to sell them. Or maybe this is the attack. Oh, I can see the Humvees. Those units are all toast. Like, these 4 on the backside are unarmed, so... They are gone. Take out the last HQ, please. Because we got bombs coming in. Thankfully, nothing crazy. Oh, defensive positions on the left are under attack. Right, time for these BMP-1s to show what they're made of. We'll drop some DPICM. Good hit kills from T-72N. I don't want these to die because I want to maintain that veterancy so I can have a second unit of BMPs that's actually pretty good.
Zone captured.
The DPICM is going to cover those really well. Okay, perfect. Alright, 1 minute left. And this unit of BMP-1s with the Schützen, they've done fantastically well. And unfortunately the other one got destroyed, so we lost the veterancy there again. Okay, Mr. M1A1 can come over here. Akatsiya can fall back. 1 minute remaining. We'll probably just push over towards India. Make sure... Oh, okay. It's a pretty nasty tank unit. That was just side shot me, some T-72Ms. Nice flank attack from the Abrams though. We'll come all the way across. Using the mobility and firepower of the M1A1s has really been super helpful in this second battle. There it is. All taken care of. Wonderful. Yeah, the infantry line on this side was very important. So many wrecks here. But not as clean as the last battle, but still a very effective defense. And only 49 dead, 102 wounded. M1A1 Abrams did a fantastic job, so did the Leopards. This was a much more open engagement than the last. I think the sort of darkness in the previous battle was actually affecting us, even though we didn't have artillery illumination available. But that is Phase 7 complete. So great stuff. We've got 242 operational authority. I think what we'll do is just get as much as I can back on its feet, and we'll add some more deployment points, because I think this is holding us back now, not having as many deployment points. So we'll probably put like another 150 into deployment points, and then top up the rest of our units as we move into a battle against the Soviets, which is going to be a difficult one because Soviets has always got those super heavy tanks that are really, really tough. So there we go. Another really, really fun battle in Regiments. I really, really enjoy this warpath. It's fantastic. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.